A pledge of allegiance and invocation by Councilwoman Knoll.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. May we bow our heads for prayer. Lord, as always, we come to you asking for your guidance, wisdom, and support as we begin this meeting. Help us to continue to serve for the common good of all. Help us to speak out when it's time to speak out. Help us to listen patiently and receptively when it's time to listen. May we always be guided by the spirit of community, spirit of justice, and spirit of love. We pray for continuous safety in our city. Lord, you understand grief. Praying for the families that are grieving, asking that you give them what is needed. Being peace and comfort. We thank you for kindness, patience, forgiveness, and for supplying all our needs. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Councilwoman Knoll. We have no special presentations today. We will have our 2023-2024 budget public hearing today. So with that, we will open up the hearing, and City Attorney, would you please read the rules?
At this time, we're going to have a public hearing on the budget for 2023, 2024, and would request that anyone coming forth wanting to speak in this meeting come up to the microphone up front for that purpose. No person can have more than 3 minutes to speak and address the council upon the matters in the budget ordinance that are in effect today. So if you'll come up front and line up, we can get it going.
All right, and just as a quick correction, it'll be 2 minutes for the public hearing. That's all right, thank you, City Attorney. So, it'll be 2 minutes for the public hearing for a total of 30 minutes. So, as he stated, if you would like to speak on the budget, please come up. And could we get 2 minutes on the clock, please?
I don't get 30 minutes.
Nah, not today.
Good evening, Madam Chair and Council. My name is Jason Brown, and I'm the organizer for SEIU Local 205. Represents the employees non-sworn here in the city. I'm here to speak in support of the passage of the budget, which includes a step plan, something that has been an agenda item for us and taken a lot of years of discussion. And I'm glad to say that we are on the verge, I hope, of seeing that happen. In my estimation, this is the third or fourth significant investment that you and the mayor's office have made in the wages and benefits for city employees. It's a major ordeal for these working people. It has lifted several people out of poverty based on real statistics that we have as a union. So I just wanted to come up here and be the first and not the last to say we appreciate this investment, this next investment in wages and the city's continued support for Head Start. That's a big deal too. Early learning and Head Start is where it all begins. And we appreciate your investment very much. Thank you for your time.
All right, thank you.
Hello,
Hey, Lynn.
my name is Lynn Rutherford. I'm in District 7 and I work for Parks and Outdoors. I'm a natural resource supervisor. And as a supervisor, I just want to say that I also appreciate this continued investment in our employees. Our people are all we have. And as a supervisor, I just want to make sure that my team is taken care of and that they stick with us a long time. They work really hard, and I ask them to do really difficult work. And they shouldn't have to worry about paying their medical bills. I think that city employees should be able to afford to live in the city where they work. So yeah, I agree with Jason. Really appreciate what you've done so far, and let's keep it up. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Stephen Russell, District 3. I'm the the recording secretary for the Chattanooga chapter of SEIU. I also work at the Moccasin Bend Environmental Campus at the wastewater department. I'd like to echo what my friends in SEIU said. This has been a multi-year project, I guess, as far as getting the step plan put in place. After such overwhelming support from the city about getting the $15 an hour minimum wage, we polled our members, and the number one issue they said was having a step plan. We feel this is a really important thing for long-term investment for employees, so they know that they can stay with the city and make a career out of it. So I'd like to thank the mayor's office and his staff and budget department and the city council as well for continuing to work hard to, invest in employees, and thank everyone for their hard work.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Robert Ledford. I'm the chief steward of the SEIU 205 Chattanooga chapter. I know most of you remember me when about 4 years ago we started running the $15 per hour minimum wage, and everybody said you'll never get it. It's just way too high. So when Mayor Cowie ran, I just dumped on him all the time. Are you going to get our $15 minimum wage put in? He said, I guarantee you I'll do it. So he did it. He's continued to give us raises, and we thank him for that. And we just, we're glad we finally getting some for our employees. And I just appreciate what he does. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Jack Thomas, the president of the Chattanooga Firefighter Association, and we too rise in support of this budget. Two things I'd like to talk on is apparatus replacement and also our training tower that we've been trying to get replaced for a while. Apparatus replacement, our current reserve fleet is from the 1990s. One of the things that this budget will do will allow us to take some of our frontline equipment and move that to our reserve fleet. That way, when one of our trucks go down, we're getting into something that's a little bit better for everybody in this room, for our firefighters and for the city. We're going to be able to purchase 2 squads, which is our technical rescue trucks. That allows us to be able to carry our new equipment with us instead of having to call out and request that. 1 engine, 1 mini pumper, and 1 75-foot quint. Again, with the whole goal of being able to move our current fleet to our reserve fleet. Our training tower. We've been trying to get a new training tower for as long as I can remember. When I was hired in 2000, that was on the list on trying to get that training tower replaced. We have trained thousands of firefighters here in Chattanooga and the surrounding area with our current tower, and it's been needing to get replaced for a while. Working with Hamilton County, and this budget's able to put our part into that so we can move forward and get us a training tower to be able to train our firefighters for the next 40 years. So thank you.
Keith Lyles, Vice President of the Chattanooga Firefighter Association, and seeing no one behind me, I'm going to be real short. I'm grateful for the help that you guys are giving our brothers and sisters over at SEIU. Also very grateful for the budget requests that have been done for our department as well. Our staffing we've stopped the flood of people leaving. But now we are facing some people retiring, which is a good thing. So this addresses that. In the past, whenever we've added fire trucks or fire stations, we've always robbed from Peter to pay Paul. We've taken double companies, cut them down to single companies, split them up, and put the other trucks over there. This time, we're actually going to hire new firefighters. And that's something we haven't done in a long, long time. So I just want to say thank you to that. Thank you for getting Station 15 built again. Those guys moved out of 15 and over to 6s yesterday. So it's kind of a big deal. So, we're grateful for those guys to get it. So thank you very much, and I'll cut it short right now.
All right, thank you, Keith. All right, council, seeing no one else lined up for the public hearing, we will close the budget hearing. Can I get approval on the minutes? So moved. Okay. Minutes stand without objection. We have no ordinances on final reading. Ordinances on first reading. Madam Clerk, if you read item 8.
An ordinance amending Chattanooga City Code, Part 2, Chapter 21, Section 21-137, abatement by city and lien for costs thereof, notice, hearing, appeals, subsection C, relating to service of notice.
Okay. Moved and properly second. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Madam Clerk, item B.
An ordinance amending Chattanooga City Code, Part 2, Chapter 17, Section 17-3, 2018 International Fire Code 912.3.1, and by adding a new Section 1743 requiring structures to have a key lock box installed on the exterior of the structure for fire safety purposes.
Henderson.
Second.
All right. It's been moved and properly second. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Madam Clerk, item C, the alternate version.
An ordinance to amend Chattanooga City Code, Part 2, Chapter 38 zoning ordinance so as to rezone property located at 2844 Eblin Drive from R1 residential zone to M2 light industrial zone subject to certain conditions.
Right, is the applicant present? Okay, is there opposition present? You don't have to get up, sir, yet.
I'm sorry?
You don't have to get up. Oh. All right. Any opposition present? Okay. Councilwoman Burrs, if you hit your light.
Sure. I want to check one of the conditions that I think you read, and that had to do with the 30-foot buffer.
Yes, ma'am.
And did you put the type 1 foliage?
It says a type A 30-foot landscape buffer to be
With
installed.
the tall trees, that's what I want to make sure.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that correct?
The type A is, yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay, fine. Sir, just a question, if you'd approach, please. You've reviewed this? You've reviewed this?
Yes,
This represents everything that you guys have agreed to?
absolutely, yes.
Thank you. I move approval.
All right, it's been motioned and properly second. Any comments or questions? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. Madam Clerk, item D, alternate version.
An ordinance to amend Chattanooga City Code, Part 2, Chapter 38 zoning ordinance so as to rezone property located at 2701 Benton Avenue from M1 manufacturing zone to RTZ residential townhouse 0 lot line zone subject to certain conditions.
All right, is the applicant present? Okay. Is any opposition present? Councilwoman O?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Attorney Field, could you read what the conditions are, please?
Yes, ma'am. Let me get my list up here. In this case, the conditions for this property are, let me get my numbers back on here. 49, I'm getting got the wrong one up here, sorry. Just 1 second. I will be right with you.
You're fine.
Yes, ma'am. The conditions for this rezoning are that it is from M1 manufacturing zone to RTZ residential townhouse zone, subject to the condition of no more than 2 single-family detached dwellings with accessory dwelling units, and the accessory dwelling unit is not required.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So, Ms. Ford, are you okay with that? You do understand that, correct? Okay, thank you. So move to approve.
Second.
Motion and properly second. Any comments or questions? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. Item C, Madam Clerk. I'm sorry, item E.
An ordinance closing and abandoning an unopened right-of-way in an alley located in the 3800 block of St. Elmo Avenue as detailed on the attached map subject to certain conditions.
All right, can I get a motion? I'm sorry. Thank you, Councilman Ledford.
Madam Chair, this is in your district. I'd like to move for approval.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, it's been motioned and properly second. Any comments or questions? All in favor? All opposed? Motion passes. Madam Clerk, item F.
An ordinance closing and abandoning an unopened right-of-way in the 2500 block of Chamberlain Avenue is detailed on the attached maps, subject to certain conditions.
Councilman Hester.
This is in Councilwoman Coonrod's district. I wanted to move to postpone this for 2 weeks where she can adequately review this item.
All right. Second. Okay, it's been motioned and properly second to defer for 2 weeks. Any comments or questions? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Under resolutions, if there are no objections, council, we would like to take items A through D as a group. I'm sorry, give me, Councilwoman Burrs.
No, ma'am, I was just going to ask for approval of A.
Oh.
I can do for all of them.
Okay, just hit your light again. And Madam Clerk, could you read items A through D?
Yes. Item A, a resolution confirming the appointment of Nadia Kane to the Industrial Development Board for District 6 with the term beginning on June 7, 2023 and ending on June 6, 2029. Item B, a resolution confirming the appointment of Gertha Lee Sharp to the South Region Community Advisory Committee to District 7 with a term beginning on June 7, 2023 and ending on June 6, 2024. Item C, a resolution confirming the appointment of Daisy Madison to the Sports Authority of the County of Hamilton and the City of Chattanooga with a term beginning on June 7, 2023 and ending on August 30, 2026. Item D, a resolution confirming the appointment of Brett Smalley to the Sports Authority of the County of Hamilton and the City of Chattanooga with a term beginning on June 7, 2023 and ending on August 30, 2026.
Okay, Councilwoman Burrs.
Move to approve.
Second. Okay, it's been motioned and properly second. Any comments or questions? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. Is there anyone here that has been appointed to any of those boards? If you are, could you please stand? I see one person, Ms. Gertha. All right, thank you so much for your service. We appreciate you very much. Thank you. All right, under economic development, Madam Clerk, could you read item E?
A resolution authorizing the mayor or his designee to enter into an office lease with Hamilton County Mental Health Court and substantially the form attached for the use of 368 square feet of office space at the Family Justice Center at 5705 Uptown Road, identified as tax map number 157MA012 with an effective date of July 1, 2023 for the term of 4 years with an annual rent of $1.
Okay, Councilwoman Burrs.
Move approval.
Okay, I hear a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Item F, Madam Clerk.
A resolution adopting the tax increment financing policies and procedures, a copy of which is in the form substantially attached hereto and made a part hereof by reference.
All right, Councilman Ledford.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And in confirmation, one more time, we did this at 3:30, but this is a big step forward in really solidifying our TIF policies into something that is across the board that we can all understand. Some of what we're doing here is adding stronger language to protect our school taxes, acknowledging community impact of development, ensuring a third-party review with a credentialed public advisory firm at the expense of the applicant, are some of the items that we've addressed in creating a stronger TIF policy, which is better for all of us. And I applaud the work that's been done on this by everyone involved. And with that, Madam Chair, I will move to approve.
Second. All right, we have a motion and a proper second. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Madam Clerk, item G.
A resolution to accept and receive equipment and materials from the Knox Company to be used to require all new construction to install key lock boxes on the exterior of buildings and locking fire department connection FDC caps, which includes the Key Secure 6 system, mounting brackets, e-keys, software, docking stations, and FDC wrenches in the amount of $48,924.
Councilman Henderson. I have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor? All opposed? Motion passes. Item H, Madam Clerk.
A resolution confirming the appointment of Michael Mallon as the Administrative Hearing Officer for the City of Chattanooga with a 4-year term beginning on June 7, 2023 through June 6, 2027 pursuant to City Code Section 21236.
Councilwoman Burrs.
Move approval.
Second. It's been motioned and properly second. Any comments or questions? All in favor? All opposed? Motion passes. Mr. Mallon, thank you so much for serving. We appreciate you very much. Much needed. Thank you so much. Thank you. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Yes, yes. We're excited you're coming. All right, we'll take items, without objection from the council. We can take items I through N as a group. All right, Madam Clerk?
Item I, a resolution confirming Mayor Kelly's appointment of Nicole Heyman to the Chattanooga Housing Authority with a term beginning on June 2, 2023, and ending on June 1, 2028. Item J, a resolution confirming Mayor Kelly's appointment of Deacon Hicks Armour as chairman of the Carter Street Corporation with a term beginning on May 17, 2023, and ending on January 5, 2027. Item K, a resolution confirming Mayor Kelly's appointment of Ronald Parson to the Passenger Vehicle for Hire Board with a term beginning on June 7, 2023, and ending on June 6, 2026. Item L, a resolution confirming Mayor Kelly's appointment of Brooklyn Lucas to the Community Advisory Committee, Region 1, Lookout Valley, with a term beginning on June 7, 2023, and ending on June 6, 2024. Item M, a resolution confirming Mayor Kelly's appointment of Amanda Wagner to the Community Advisory Committee, Region 1, Lookout Valley, with a term beginning on June 7, 2023, and ending on June 6, 2024. Item N, a resolution confirming Mayor Kelly's appointment of Mark Heinzer as the Administrator for the Wastewater Department.
All right, council?
Move to approve.
All right, Councilman Henderson?
Move approval.
Okay. Okay, we've been motioned and properly second. Any comments or questions? All in favor? All opposed? Motion passes. Is anyone here that's been appointed to any of the seats? If you could stand, please. Mark, I know you over there. Congratulations. All right, congratulations. Thank you so much. All right, Madam Clerk, item O.
A resolution adopting the Mountain Creek Corridor Study.
All right, Councilman Henderson.
Clerk, I would like to thank Mr. Dan Router and the folks at RPA for all their hard work in putting this much-needed corridor study plan together, and I do move approval.
Second.
Okay, all right, it's been motioned and properly second. Any comments or questions? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. All right, Madam Clerk, items P through U, we'll take it as a group if there's no objection from the council. All right, Madam Clerk.
Item P, a resolution authorizing the appointment of Katrina Shavers as Special Police Officer unarmed for the Department of Public Works Stormwater Division to do special duty as prescribed herein as water quality technician, subject to certain conditions. Item Q, a resolution authorizing the appointment of Wyatt Stuss as Special Police Officer unarmed for the Department of Public Works Stormwater Division to do special duty as prescribed herein as water quality specialist 2, subject to certain conditions. Item R, a resolution authorizing the appointment of Jennifer Palmer as Special Police Officer unarmed for the Department of Public Works Land Development Office to do special duty as described herein as landscape inspector, subject to certain conditions. Item S, a resolution authorizing the appointment of Levi Witt as Special Police Officer unarmed for the Department of Public Works Land Development Office to do special duty as described herein as Code Enforcement Inspector 2, subject to certain conditions. Item T, a resolution authorizing the administrator for the Department of Public Works to apply for and, if awarded, accept a Safe Streets for All SS4A grant for an amount up to $25 million. Item U, a resolution authorizing the administrator for the Department of Public Works to apply for and, if awarded, accept an Inflation Reduction Act Urban and Community Forestry Grant from the U.S. Department of Agriculture Forest Service FS Urban and Community Forestry Program for a 5-year grant period for an amount not to exceed $15 million.
All right, Councilman Hester.
Move to approve.
Okay, it's been motioned and properly second. Any comments or questions? All in favor? All opposed? Motion carries. Item V.
A resolution authorizing the chief procurement officers for the city of Chattanooga to enter into an agreement to join the HGAC by cooperative purchasing program.
Okay, Councilwoman Burrs. Move approval. Okay, it's been motioned and properly second. Any comments or questions? All in favor? All opposed? Motion passes. Item W.
A resolution authorizing payment to Capital Waste Services for Ray County Landfill and to Republic Services for Bradley County Landfill for 3 years for Bradley County or Ray County landfill disposal of biosolid sludge and other special waste for a total amount not to exceed $200,000.
Move to approve.
All right.
Second.
All right, have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor? All opposed? Motion passes. Next up, we have our purchases. Julia coming down.
Good evening, council. We have 4 purchases this evening. The first is from the Fleet Management Division of Public Works. This is a new blanket contract for John Deere Agriculture Tractor OEM Parts and Service from Ag Pro Companies. This will be a 4-year agreement not to exceed $250,000 per year. The solicitation was advertised 4 times with no bids received. It was re-advertised for the 5th time and received only 1 bid. The second is from the Street Maintenance Division of Public Works. This is the second and final renewal for masonry materials for local pickup from TT Wilson Company. A 6% price increase was submitted at the time of renewal for 3 lines due to the manufacturer's increase in costs. The total cost estimate is $65,000. Third is from the wastewater department. This is an increase of $500,000 for bypass pumping rental equipment from Xylem Dewatering Solutions, Inc. The increase brings the total annual estimated spend to $650,000. The fourth and final purchase is from the Division of Transportation from Public Works. This is a new blanket contract for concrete sidewalk grinding services from We Fix Sidewalks. This will be a 4-year agreement not to exceed $500,000 per year. The apparent low bidder, Precision Concrete Cutting LLC, did not bid all line items, which makes them non-compliant.
All right. I have a motion.
Second.
And a second. It's moved and properly second. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes.
We have 1 RFP that we're requesting approval to issue. This is from Human Resources. That is an RFP specifically to evaluate dental insurance options.
Move to approve.
Second.
All right, motion and properly second. Any comments or questions? All in favor? All opposed? Motion passes.
We have 1 emergency purchase to report from the Office of Homelessness and Supportive Housing out of the Department of Community Development. This is an emergency purchase for services from ServPro for a total of $77,620.04 for the cleanup of a biohazardous and fire hazardous environment located under Veterans Bridge due to a vacated homeless encampment. And then we have 1 sole source purchase to report from the wastewater department. This is a purchase of spreading equipment for biosolids at the Crossville mine site for $37,920 from Synagro. Synagro is the city's contracted vendor for biosolids transport and spreading. The additional resources being requested are not provided under the blanket contract, and this sole source request is a one-time provision to accommodate difficult working conditions at this particular work site.
All right, that's it. Thank you, Julia.
Thank you.
All right, now it's time for committee reports. Councilman Henderson? Thank you. Councilman Smith? Councilman Ledford?
Planning and zoning did meet today. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Councilman Hester?
No report.
Councilwoman Noel?
Yes. Not to report, but to give out a little information. Community Haven
Is having a job training program, a hang time, a community cookout, and they are also hiring for the summer. So if you know anyone that's looking for a job or that would be able to benefit from any of these wonderful programs, then please reach out to Brother Kevin Muhammad. And I want to give a major shout out and a hand clap to 311 for taking care of an issue that we had. When I tell you follow through was quick, it was quick with less than 48 hours. So appreciate it. Thank you so much. You know, lesson can be learned from that. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Noel. Councilwoman Burrs?
Yes, ma'am. We did have the budget hearing today. Thank you for graciously leading that. You did well.
Thank you, thank you.
And we'll have the first reading of the budget ordinance next week.
All right, Madam Vice Chair?
Nothing to report.
All right, with that, we come to the time for persons of recognition of persons wishing to address the council. City Attorney, would you read the rules?
Now they get 3 minutes. No
They
problem.
get 3 minutes,
All
yes,
right.
thank you.
At the end of each council business meeting, the chair will recognize members of the public who wish to address the council. Each speaker wishing to address can only be recognized at the microphone up front provided for that purpose, and you can't have more than 3 minutes to speak now. You can address the council only upon matters within their legislative and quasi-judicial authority and not upon matters which are not under their authority or are regulated by other governmental bodies or agencies. Don't engage in any vulgar or obscene language, nor use the floor to personally attack or personally denigrate others, and direct your comments to the council as a whole and not make comments towards individual council members. And please don't engage in any disorderly conduct or disrupting public meeting, which is prohibited by Tennessee law, and someone commits that offense if a person substantially obstructs or interferes with the meeting by physical action or verbal utterance with the intent to prevent or disrupt a lawful meeting. Having given you the rules, sir, go right ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate everyone being here. My name is Joshua David Capellish. I'm an advocate for unsheltered citizens in Chattanooga. I want to pose one question. What would Jesus do? Say it again. What would Jesus do? What is better than American pie? Humble pie. And we all need to eat more of it. I made a humble pie for myself and wanted to share some with you. We all need to humble ourselves from time to time, and of course, God will surely do it for us. Should we not do it for ourselves? Should we become too haughty, unrighteous, and naughty? To be an American, I believe we must embrace modesty, generosity, and share in prosperity, knowledge, and especially grace toward one another. Sisters and brothers, fathers and sons, mothers and daughters too. The red, the white, and the blue includes everyone, and that means me and you. It's Pride Month, every month. American pride, and that includes everyone. Humble. I looked it up in the dictionary. Humble means to show modesty, and it means to be, and maybe one of the most significant thoughts we can imagine, and honestly one of the most difficult personal objectives to achieve, but it is critical to the well-being of society and ourselves. It is the antonym to greed and the beginning seed for love and self-growth. Modesty is the art of self-expression in a humble way, and at times self-directed humor helps the ego deflate. Modesty is the state of being humble, decent, or moderate. The more successful one becomes, the more difficult it is to not appear arrogant or haughty. Leadership is a very difficult action. There are good leaders and bad. Hitler was a leader, and so is Jesus. Jesus, after being baptized, was led by the Spirit to be tempted by the devil. After fasting for 40 days and 40 nights, he was hungry. And Jesus said, "Man shall not live on bread alone, but on every word that comes from the mouth of God." He was tempted on a mountain and was showed all the kingdoms of the world and their splendor. "And all this I will give to you," he said, that was the devil, "if you will bow down and worship me." Jesus said to him, "Away from me, Satan." It is critical we do not follow bad leadership. And let me leave you with these thoughts. We're all homeless until we are home with God. My friends who remain unsheltered are God's children. I have never seen a black person or a white person, and we're all different shades of the same. Calling someone homeless is akin to calling someone another name relating to race. We got rid of that. We need to build more homes for handicapped folks, for veterans, and we need to place those folks who live in this country over people that come here illegally. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
All right. All right, council, seeing no one else wishing to address the council, what's your pleasure?